What's going on, internet? I am the Masked Man. Now, I already did a video about the Oscars snubbing black folks and how I was very ambivalent to, people in their outrage over white people being racist in 2016. Oh, the humanity. But, I'll be damned if dark skin and ViV didn't come to the rescue and say some real shit. you know Now I'm gonna leave a link to the video in the description. But dark skin and ViV, from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the first Aunt Vivian, before she got canned, she spoke up on Jada Pinkett Smith, asking people to boycott the Oscars. And this kind of fell back into a recurring theme. You're gonna see a lot of recurring themes in my channel. That's why I talk about news stories, because otherwise I'd just be making the same video over and over again. But Janet, I think that's her name. She was talking about how Jada and Will together have made millions of dollars in Hollywood. And all of a sudden, they want to ask, people who are not as successful, who are not as high profile as them, to spit in the face of the people who are giving them their livelihood. And I just thought, like, man, this is a really great point. And I respect somebody who is an actual actress or blacktress, as she said, a blacktress. Respect, for saying that, because it needed to be said. Because it's like, these people, they don't have the power to, fuck with the establishment. They're getting paid by the establishment. They need and they depend on the establishment. And Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith getting upset because they weren't included in a ceremony is just so corny. It's like, where is this outrage? Where is this coverage? Where is this passion? Where is this energy? Where's your World Star video for things that are meaningful? You want to talk about racism, when it suits you, when you get snubbed by these insignificant things, when you don't get recognized in white folks' house. Nigga, they forgot. I promise you. Nigga, I promise you. They either didn't mean to do this, or this is a publicity stunt to have more people watching. It's one or the other. It wasn't like they intentionally did this shit and didn't expect there to be some sort of backlash. It's like, either they did it for ratings, or they did it because they just really, it was an oversight. They forgot to put the token niggas in, and now it's a big issue. I honestly think, and I'm gonna be real with you, I honestly think they gonna push some niggas into this award show. I bet. Watch, don't they just give some niggas a token nomination because they forgot. I believe they forgot. I don't believe that this was like a blatant, show of racial force. I'm sure they forgot. So now that they're getting all of this heat and all of this backlash, they probably gonna give a token spot here or there for a couple of niggas. They may even let a nigga win. They may have to, because they wasn't looking for all this bad press, this bad publicity. That's not how racism works in 2016. And honestly, that's not how it's really ever worked. One thing I want you to understand, or I want certain people to understand who are watching this video. People think in the 40s, the 50s, or the 60s that white people were blatantly and belligerently racist on film. Like, they were just racist everywhere. Like, they were just saying what they actually felt and believed all the time, no filter. That is not true. Birth of a Nation was probably the most racist film that has ever been made. I haven't seen it. I do actually want to see it, just so I can see what the hubbub is about. But Birth of a Nation was kind of like, pushing the envelope. But everything other than Birth of a Nation has been innuendo. It's been minstrel. It's been making black people look stupid, but not just like, there was never any massive movement in the media just saying we hate black folks and we want black people to die. You can't find that in Andy Griffin. You can't find that in Leave It to Beaver. You can't find that in Happy Days, which was in the 70s. But you can't look back and find all of this evidence of blatant racism, back in the 50s and the 60s, but what's going on. They've always been very aware to not let people know how much they really dislike black folks. And they've always been conscious of, if we let the cat out of the bag, if we film this shit, and if we come out and say we hate these people and we hate them just because they're black, then that's going to make the whole world look at us negatively. We got to say we dislike them because they're dumb, because they're criminals. There always has to be some kind of justification for treating black people poorly. They always, and if there isn't a justification, they have to make one up. So them not, how many Oscars have they had? How many award shows have they had? They've been having token niggas in the Oscars for years. They've had token niggas in there. They really just forgot. Bruh, it ain't that serious. You ain't gotta boycott the Oscars. What, you just not gonna come? Other people can't afford to make that decision. I really recommend that you check out the Black Ann Vivian, what she had to say. I'll leave a link to her video. She does a better job of explaining it than me. A lot of people feel that she's a very bitter woman. She's a very temperamental woman. They said for years that she's crazy or whatever. But I just look at it like this. We've all heard stories, of these rock stars who have had these asinine and insane riders. Now, if you don't know what a rider is, it's something that an artist, it's a list of requests that they want when they perform or do a show. Sometimes these things will be so stupid. It'll be, I want a bowl filled with 1,000 M&Ms, exactly 1,000. If it's less than 1,000 or more than 1,000, I'm not going on. I'm not performing. And they all have to be green, and they all have to be facing in a 90-degree angle, exactly 90 degrees. I have my measuring tape, and if it's not exactly 90 degrees, I'm not going on. So white people get to be difficult, and they just put up with the shit. Because they're super talented, they make a lot of money, they're artists. They're difficult as fuck. That's insane. That's stupid as hell. But people tolerate it because they generate money. And Vivian, Janet, and James Avery, both of them were like real actors. Like really, like Shakespearean, like straight up and down. Like either one of them could have been like a Denzel, or really James Avery more like a Forrest Whitaker, or who's the guy who Darth Vader and Coming to America. That he could, like, James Avery could have been like him. And Janet, she could have been like an Angela Bassett, or um she just could have been a very well respected, dignified actress. But she just happened to fall into a sitcom, and that just happened to be her biggest role and his biggest role. But these are like true actors, like true artists, like people who are, you know, moved by that kind of spirit. Sometimes the motherfuckers gonna be difficult. They gonna be hard to handle. But you can't tell me that her replacement was a superior actor, or that she was better, or that she was more compelling or entertaining, or that she brought more to the show. It's like people actually think that Aunt Viv, the dark skinned Aunt Viv, black Aunt Viv, was on the show for a long time. I think that she was really on the show for the first season or the first two seasons out of six. It's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had a full run. It had a full run. It had like 100 and something episodes. It wasn't no short-lived show. So the fact that they think that the black Aunt Viv was on the show for a long time just shows you how much of an impact she had on the show. She was only on the show for a season or two, and they got rid of her ass for either contracts or just being too hard to handle. But as far as the on-screen product, people remember her. People connected with her. She did her job, and she did it well, and she brought a lot to that role. And she is remembered way more than her replacement. So she's an artist. If she was hard to deal with, if she was bitchy, if she was a problem, you deal with people like that. I know people that's a goddamn problem who ain't worth a damn, who can't do shit. They a problem. They a headache. They can't do shit, can't make a dollar. I gotta deal with them. You telling me you can't deal with a bitch that make money? I got no sympathy for you saying, oh, she was a bitch. D.L. Hughley was like, oh, she was really difficult and a spoiled brat. I know spoiled goddamn brats that can't do nothing. Ain't no goddamn excuse. You deal with it. That's what you get with somebody who is talented at this profession, who is very talented at being an entertainer. Sometimes they're hard to deal with. Now, DL actually agreed with her, and I agree with him agreeing with her, but it's just a situation. Go check out her video. She made a lot of good points. I rock with her. If they say she's bitter, well, God damn it, she got a right to be bitter. Ain't nothing wrong with being bitter. God damn it, I'm bitter right now. So she don't like Will. Shit, I don't like him either. Made his son go out in a dress. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck if his son is legitimately gay. If his son is legitimately transgender, if his son is legitimately questioning his sexuality, you don't let your son do no shit like that. If you want your son to come out as whatever, you don't pimp him out to a clothing line to come out like that. You got to do your shit with class and dignity if you gonna do it. The fact that you gonna do some sucker ass shit like that, whether you doing it for the long, whether Will Smith is thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get these white folks, I'm gonna put my son in a dress, and then in 15 years, I'm gonna really get him then, because I got a big plan. I don't give a fuck if it's like that or if he just cool with his son. I don't care either way. You ain't that goddamn smart to get goddamn white folks and white supremacy. You ain't gonna outsmart them, nigga. And if you really approve the shit, then I don't respect you for that. I lost a lot of respect for Will Smith when I saw his goddamn son in a dress. Nigga, that nigga still live with you. He not even 18. He don't pay no bills. You don't let your son do that. You want somebody to get in the dress? Put your dumb ass in a dress. Don't make your son get no dress, nigga. So I ain't got no pity for Will not getting no Oscar. And I don't want to hear Jada complaining about her husband didn't get an Oscar. She want to boycott the Oscars. Shit, if I could watch the Oscars, I'd tune the fuck in to watch it. Say that shit. Go watch her video, man. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments, like the video, dislike the video, be honest. Subscribe to my channel to keep up with what videos I'm making. If there's any subject that you want me to cover, that you want me to touch on, leave me a email at themrmaskman@gmail.com. You want to follow me on Twitter or find me on Facebook, you can do that at themrmaskman. That is all I have to say about this subject. I will see you in the next video.